Listen up, the last few days have been an absolute whirlwind. If you're a Hawks fan and you haven't been glued to your phone chasing every roster move, every draft update, every little detail leaking out of Renton, seriously, what are you even doing? Because things are moving fast around here and we are not slowing down. So look, we just came out of a draft where Schneider and the front office went ahead and grabbed a first-round running back. First round, a running back. That alone tells you everything about how serious this organization is. The moment our former star back walked out the door, this front office rolled up their sleeves and got to work. No hesitation, no waiting around, and then, just 4 days later, the cuts started flying. A veteran with 2 Super Bowl rings, gone, just like that. A guy who suited up for us during that playoff run, shown the door to make room for the new era. And on top of that, 3 veterans are now looking over their shoulders every single day. Because this front office is absolutely not playing around this offseason. This is what a team that truly believes in itself looks like, but it also means some people's dreams are about to get cut short, and that's the hard truth nobody wants to face. Today, we're breaking all of it down. The surprise release the veterans officially put on notice, and what every single one of these moves means for where this team is headed. But real quick, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're grinding hard to hit 4,000 subscribers, and we need you in this community. Drop a like too, it takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely keeps this channel alive. Dotchbly, this draft shook the roster, nobody was fully ready for it. Alright, let's dive deep. This draft did something to this roster that a lot of fans are still trying to wrap their heads around. We walked into Thursday with only 4 picks and somehow walked out with 8 new players. 8! That is a serious haul by any standard. And yeah, every new face brings excitement, brings fresh energy and hope, but here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to bring up right away. Every single one of those rookies is a direct threat to someone who already bled for this team. There are 3 specific guys I'm watching extremely closely this offseason. If these veterans can't prove themselves before September rolls around, they might not have a spot on this roster when it matters most. 1. Kenny McIntosh, running back. Honestly, this situation is tough to talk about because there's genuine sympathy here. Last offseason, this guy had his position locked down, 3rd back on the depth chart, contributing on special teams, returning kicks. The job was basically his to lose. Then the ACL happened, and everything came crashing down in an instant. Now he's clawing his way back, trying to prove those explosive, electric legs that made everyone excited about him in the first place are still there. And the team? They didn't sit around waiting. They signed Emmanuel Wilson in free agency and used a first-round pick on Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. Price is a lock, no debate there. Wilson is right behind him. If Charbonnet comes back anywhere close to healthy, that's already 3 backs ahead of McIntosh before training camp even opens its doors. And Helani is still in the picture too. The room is absolutely packed, and Kenny is just fighting to get back inside the building. Even his value as a returner took a serious hit because Rashad Shad is in the house now, and 6th-round pick Emmanuel Henderson Jr. is going to compete hard for those duties too. There's no easy path back for McIntosh right now, and that's genuinely hard to say because the desire to see him make it is real. 2. All Ricky White III, wide receiver, Schneider's final pick from the 2025 draft. This kid came in with a strong special teams resume and some real undeniable potential as a pass catcher. But then the team went and traded for Shahed, and that basically slammed the door shut on any real opportunity for White during his rookie year. He stayed on the practice squad, kept his head down, kept grinding day after day. Respect for that, seriously. But now Henderson is here, and Henderson profiles almost identically to what White brings to the table, except Henderson was drafted earlier, which tells you exactly where the front office sees the ceiling. This isn't an indirect challenge, this is a direct, in-your-face competition. Ricky White has to show up this offseason and make it flat-out impossible for them to cut him. It really is that simple and that brutal. 3. Christian Haynes, guard, 3rd-round pick back in 2024, which means the expectation was always crystal clear. This guy was eventually going to start. A lot of people, and this was a widely shared belief, thought he was going to take the right guard job away from Anthony Bradford last season. It never happened. Even when Bradford went down with an injury, Haynes couldn't lock down the position. They even floated the idea of moving him to center earlier this offseason. That conversation went absolutely nowhere. And then Schneider goes and trades up in the 5th round to grab Iowa guard Bo Steffens. Trades up, gives up a 4th-round pick next year to make it happen. You don't make that kind of move if you're comfortable and satisfied with what you already have on the interior. That is a message, a loud, unmistakable one. Haynes needs to hear it, process it, and respond accordingly. Cam Akers released. The new era has officially begun. If the draft news wasn't clear enough that this front office means serious business, this next move definitely hammers it home. 4 days. Just 4 days after using a 1st-round pick on Jadarian Price, the Seahawks went ahead and released Cam Akers. Monday morning, the announcement dropped, and a 6-year NFL veteran was suddenly looking for a new home. And look, some real talk is needed here because Cam Akers genuinely deserves that. This is a guy who has been through the fire. 2 season-ending Achilles injuries. 2. Most players don't come back from one of those the same way. He did it twice, and he kept fighting, kept showing up, kept finding ways to stay relevant in this league. That takes something truly special. That takes serious, undeniable character. He came to Seattle back in November, and yeah, his role was limited. 3 regular season games, the NFC Championship against his former team, the Rams, which had to be one of the strangest feelings imaginable. 10 offensive snaps, 23 special team snaps combined between the regular season and playoffs. Not a massive sample size by any means, but he was here. He contributed. He was part of a Super Bowl run with this team, and that counts for something. At just 26 years old, with that kind of resume and 2 rings on his finger, Cam Akers is absolutely not finished. Somebody is going to pick him up. That belief is genuine and strong. But from the Seahawks side of things, this move makes complete and total sense. You draft Price in the 1st round. You've got Charbonnet coming back from his ACL. You've got Emmanuel Wilson, George Halani, Kenny McIntosh, Jacardis Wright, all still on the roster. That is a lot of running backs. The math simply doesn't work with Akers in the room too. And with rookie minicamp coming up this weekend, you need to clear space on that 91-man roster. This is clean. This is the front office being sharp, efficient, and decisive. No drama, no unnecessary delays. They made their big splash at the position with Price, and now they're trimming intelligently to make room for the future they're building. Gerg, zoom out. What does the big picture actually tell us? When you step back and look at both of these stories together, the veterans put on notice after the draft and the Akers release. What do you actually see? Here's what stands out loud and clear: a front office that is completely done being sentimental. They are building something real. There is a vision in place, and they are executing on it without waiting for anyone to catch up. 8 new players came in through the draft, and 3 veterans found themselves on thin ice. The Akers cut sent a message that even guys who contributed to a Super Bowl run are not untouchable if the numbers don't add up. This is a franchise operating with genuine confidence and razor-sharp clarity, and honestly, that should fire up every single one of us as fans. But it also means this offseason is going to be genuinely brutal for some guys who absolutely deserve better. McIntosh, Ricky White, Christian Haynes, these are real human beings with real careers hanging in the balance. How they respond between now and September is going to define the next chapter of their lives and their careers. This is the Seahawks right now. High standards, 0 guarantees, and a front office swinging with clear purpose. Every move, every cut, every story that matters to this fan base will be covered right here. So stay locked in, stay engaged, and don't miss a thing. 12S up. Let's ride. Duan Townsend. Thank you guys. See you next video.